This is take 2. Right. Connor, welcome to the Curious Mind podcast.
Fucking hell. Hey, man.
Oh, right. How are we?
Yeah, really good, bro. Really good.
Nice.
You know, you picked it on a Sunday.
Yeah, no.
It is very chill vibes.
No, to be fair, yeah, we actually managed to secure a decent spot, and even just doing work in it would be.
I never
all
thought
right.
of coming in this corner, you know. So
Yeah.
it's actually decent, isn't it?
For anyone, it just looks like we're in a corner, like
It
just in a
does.
box room, but it's actually really nice. Anyways, so Connor is my coach and also best mate. We've been chatting for just, I think, over a year now. And I wanted to get him on because me and him are incredibly similar. And we share a lot of the similar values, beliefs, perspectives, deep talks, everything. So just want to pick his brains a little bit because this man has a lot of experience and knowledge. And yeah, on that then, just give a brief introduction to yourself. Not an easy question. That's annoying, but it's fine.
Should be okay. Shouldn't be picked up. Yeah, literally what Jaden said. Like, you know, Jaden's an athlete of mine on my team. He is an absolute pleasure to coach as well. You know, obviously you guys know Jaden pretty well, but yeah, a bit about myself. I am a lifestyle, got a frog in my throat. I am a lifestyle bodybuilding coach. I can't look at you without laughing, mate, to be fair. Hang on a minute, I'll look at this. I'm a lifestyle bodybuilding coach. I've been doing this now for about 12 years in terms of overall training. I've recently sort of like scaled up to coaching more bodybuilding style athletes that want to step on stage. It's something that I've tapped into heavily last year. Doing pretty well, scored an overall win, a few class wins, some top threes. So I'm enjoying that aspect right now in terms of work. But I do like training, obviously, my lifestyle guys as well. People who just want to be in shape and just live the lifestyle, but not necessarily want to step on stage. You know, that's always a pleasure too. I've been bodybuilding for about 12 years since I was 17. So I'm 29. It's been a bit of a journey, to be fair. For those who don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I had huge ambitions, still do, for, you know, some sort of like path in bodybuilding, so to speak. Like, it's an art for me, so it's not just about putting on as much muscle as possible, being a meathead, and you know, trying to be better than everybody else. It's like, it's just about being, you know, unlocking what I think I can do, what I hold. And I scored a pretty heavy knee injury. Tore my patella tendon, which ultimately did change the game a little bit for me. The perspective of that didn't shine its light until a lot later down the line. Initially, when I did the injury, I thought I'd be back in like a year or two and it'd be no problem. Fast forward 6 years, here we are. Yeah, it's one of those ones. I'm going off on a tangent here, but like, yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now. So I'm just obviously looking to sort of like marinate myself back into rebuilding that physique. I lost a lot of size and muscle on my leg, which in my head I'm still building. In other people's eyes, I'm not. Again, from an artistry point of view, I don't want to step on stage until, you know, ultimately I'm sort of like pleased with what I have. Then again, it is a yo-yo where you're in and out constantly, thinking you're never good enough. That is the curse of bodybuilding. Yeah, that's that. I like watching movies a lot.
Alien vs Predator was good yesterday.
It was.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. That was a sick one. I am typically your sort of person who will like have the favorites and I will just cycle them over and over and over. Like, you know, I'm not really a fan of like new movies at the moment. They're kind of backwards, aren't they? But
Fantastic Four was pretty good.
it was, yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah. There's still a lot of work to be done, but anyway, yeah, that's practically me. I don't even know if I nailed that, but here we
On
are.
that then, so you mentioned in there like you was expecting yourself to be back 1 to 2 years after the injury. How have you navigated that? Because that's a common theme what a lot of people struggle with. Like, for example, I expect the scales to be down, they're not down, I feel shit. or like, what's the fucking point sort of thing. And I think expectations is such a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like explore that a little bit more for me and how you've sort of navigated that.
You mean in terms of keep going? Yeah, ultimately, I think it's just growing up. Like when I was younger, it all stems from all the way back to then. I remember being like 7 years old, and I literally remember standing at the top of my stairs in my mum's house, and I was staring outside a window, and I just looked at my mum, and I was just like, I was like, why do I feel like I suck at everything, but I'm meant for something, you know? And it was like being meant for something potentially more in a different way, not academically potentially. So that kind of wiring, in a sense, even from that young of an age, has always like been inside. So when I eventually found bodybuilding, and I like clicked with it, and I was just like, yes, like this is it, you know? Because I did dabbed in gaming and stuff like that. Obviously not nowhere near to your level, but you know, I still did a YouTube channel and it was still fun, you know? But I knew it wasn't it. So when I got into bodybuilding, it was very much like, yeah, I knew it was it. I knew I was going to be good at it. And the passion inside just sort of like, it was like a roaring fire for many years. I was going into my early 20s. I did a show. Actually, no, I did a show before that. I did a show when I was like 18, didn't place. Good experience. Did another one at 22, came second. Then I was like, okay, this is cool. Let's keep going. And then COVID hit, got the injury. But then it was like, this is the thing, it's like the moment of not quitting it feels like unfinished business, like the 17-year-old dream, you know, like I'm 29 now, like I said, I still feel like I need to honor that 17-year-old kid, of doing my best to do what I can in competitive bodybuilding. And it's not so much like to be up on stage and to like win. That's not the drive to making me want to not quit. It's not that. It's not to prove myself anymore. Like I feel like maybe a few years ago it was very much a little bit about that, without me knowing. I think before coming like very self-aware, it was very much that. Like looking back, whereas like now it's like I want to do this because I want to. It's almost a self-expression too. Like I'm quite an emotional person, like emotionally sensitive, so to speak, and that bodybuilding to me is like a full, like on the stage especially, is like a way of expressing myself fully, you know, with like the posing, the display of the art of what I've built, like looking at something aesthetically beautiful to the eye, but then knowing the days of graft that have gone into that, like the intention, like every single weight training session has a purpose. You know, you have to lift a certain amount of weight with a strict amount of intent. You have to trigger emotions to be able to carry that. You cannot just walk into a lift and just do it. Like, there is so much behind bodybuilding 24/7 that requires a particular mind in order to do so. And that's how I knew I was sort of like wired for that path. So to quit is simply just not an option. To me now, it's just like a matter of when. And but the weird thing is, mate, like I'm so chill with it now that I'm just like, it will happen when it will happen. And that's not very much like one day, you know, it's not that. It's like, no, this is happening. It's just, it's one of those ones where it's like, I will do it because I feel ready to display this, you know what I mean? I'm not looking for perfectionism here. I think it's a little bit of a deeper thought actually, that to what I'm waiting for in order for me to trigger me to be like, yes, the time is now. I actually can't tell you that because I haven't worked that out yet and I don't know what that is. But obviously we had a deep chat a couple weeks ago, didn't we? Figuring a lot of stuff out. I had a huge sense of feeling unworthy, didn't I? For like a long time, longest time, probably about 6 years. Just feeling unworthy of everything, success, bodybuilding, fucking you name it, relationships. And actually Jaden here, I remember he said to me, he said like, bro, can I be the coach? Can I coach you? And I was like, because I know how brilliant his fucking mind is, I'm just like, you know, I just do it. You know what I mean? And you just sat there and like, mate, this dude even made me crack. You know, I literally like almost cried. You know what I mean? Because like he asked me some questions that I've never been asked before. And that, you know, I've listened to literally thousands of hours of podcasts rewiring my brain into being the next best version of myself. Through the injury, through bodybuilding, through failed relationships, through all sorts of stuff to be better. And the questions you asked me, mate, didn't even come close to what I've, you know.
Yeah,
So I think elements of that is
the whole coaching process. So I have a bit of a different definition when it comes to coaching, because I was heavily influenced by like Lewis Potts, and like he's taught me a lot in terms of how I built my business. But I have a genuine belief like you and everyone else that would be listening has all of the answers to their problems.
Yeah.
And as someone that is 19, not like the most experienced in the world when it comes to life, relationships and whatnot,
Sure.
it's almost like egotistical for me to think I know Connor, 29 years of being with himself, better than he knows him. So if you ask the right questions in the right sequence and you hold the space and you shut the fuck up, like it's incredibly powerful because it gets you to think and really reflect. And ultimately, like what we're doing is creating new perspective, right? Like we're creating new perspective, and like when new perspective emerges, new thoughts emerge, new thoughts lead to new actions and whatever. And sometimes it's not like, because when we did have that chat, it wasn't necessarily like we walked away from that chat and fucking, you know, like you moved a mountain the next day. It's simply a seed that got planted, and then since it's started growing. And the one thing within that as well, which I really want to highlight more when we did that coaching process, was like identifying what part are you playing in the problem. Like if, say, struggling with unworthiness or not, like was like what part of you is contributing to that. And fortunately enough, like you was willing to take the responsibility quite easy on. The problem is if you delegate that, or if you say, I don't know, man, it's just like my family, or it's the weather, it's just shit at times. It's just like, it's disempowering. It doesn't make you feel better. But if you can even identify like one particular aspect where you are in control, then you can make a difference. Like you can make a change with that. But yeah, that whole coaching process was really beautiful. Like it's a more of a collaborative thing.
It was,
I asked the right questions at the right time. And like, yeah, because again, I think I spoke about 5% of that. If that?
Yeah, it was true. There are even moments where I remember going completely silent and quiet because I was thinking so hard, you know, and it was almost like you were being so so patient because you knew that I was thinking. You didn't need to say anything more. You know what I mean? And
I think one of the most beautiful questions in there is like, what are you knowingly doing that's stopping you from getting this resolved? Like that is, like, I've already spoke about it in terms of like my own relationships thing. Like I was like, no one my age will like me, no one above me will have like an attraction to me because they're older, I have a baby face and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what part am I playing? It's like, well, first of all, they're excuses. Second of all, I haven't dated every girl on the earth, you know what I mean? I haven't been like on every single thing, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then since then, it's like a new perspective has emerged. Like it's gone from perhaps less abundant to more abundant in a way. Like there's opportunities, there's growth.
It's funny because a lot of it was, it's like you said, it was already there. You know, it was literally just, you sometimes just need that one person just to ask you the right question.
Yeah.
It's literally that, you know. Unfortunately, it is just as simple as that. You just need someone to ask you the right question, and that's exactly what happened. And then obviously, yeah, that took me to a place of emotion where I hadn't felt for a long time. And I'm quite an open person, like talking about my emotions, being emotional around people, like, you know, but that was different.
Yeah.
That was like 6 years of a what the fuck cocktail that I suddenly decided to just like drink.
Yeah.
And was just like, right, let's just digest this and get it over with.
Yeah.
You know?
And on the topic of coaching as well, like the reason you're my coach and like not anyone else is because you hold that space when it's needed. And like I said, you're quite intuitive with it in terms of like what I need at that time. And ultimately, like we still make progress towards a goal. Like again, my strength's at like, especially when it comes to MMA, like it's at an all-time high. On that as well, because me, when it comes to chasing aesthetics, I can't do it. It's not my cup of tea. Like I've tried it in the past, tried it even recently. It just doesn't fit my wiring. But for me, I've been very much driven to become a master within like MMA and like mastering a craft. It's almost like my art. And to me, it sounded like you was very much driven by your own internal reasons for it. How important would you say that is when it comes to someone on their own journey?
I do think it's everything, because you base it off the one thing. And I think like when you find the one thing, and that resonates with, like, I genuinely mean this, but when it resonates with a part of your soul, and like your brain wiring connects so effortlessly like to it, and you know that this is like just you as a person, like, sure, you can deep it even more than that if you really want to, you know? I just feel like this is what I'm saying. Like, so with myself and bodybuilding, it wasn't so much about like putting on a shitload of muscle, getting on stage and flexing, and then just being like, haha, like, I'm the shit. You know what I mean? It's like, it was never that. It was always the process, like, of becoming. You know what I mean? And then to display such a thing, the people in the crowds may or may not see that, but it's not for them either. You know what I mean? So my point is to the people who are maybe struggling to find that one thing, like that one thing, that one purpose, that no matter how much they try to reinvent themselves, no matter how much they try and taste different things and whatever, and you keep being called back to this thing, like I have, like, it can't be ignored. It's just like, don't ignore it. Like, and internally, you just know that the word quit and the word giving up just doesn't exist. Sometimes you just have to slow the fuck down and just be like, okay, wait a minute. And also comparison too. It's so easy to compare yourself to, like, in bodybuilding, to other athletes that are doing really well. You got like 20-year-olds turning fucking pro. You got like 22-year-olds like genuinely at pro shows doing reasonably well. I'm 29, you know? Like, granted, I would have competed maybe like 5 or 6, 7 times now if I hadn't had the injury. That's besides the point. The injury happened. So it's like, you know, I did go through, and I still go through a process of the odd comparison now and then. Like, can I still do this? Like, you know, is this right for me? You know? The reality is that we're all gonna die, man. Like, so the answer is yes. And it's just a matter of when. But I'm approaching it with a much sort of like calmer wiring approach. It's not, it's hard to explain, to be honest. I haven't really dabbed into this sort of like part of it, but yeah, that's all I've got, I think, on that.
Yeah, I think to add to that as well, like when it comes to that purpose, you know, because I think for me so far in my young journey, like, mine's changed over time. And when it comes to even like finding that sort of purpose or whatnot, like sometimes it's driven out of pain and sometimes it's driven out of like fulfillment as well. For example, like the pain of staying who I was after my breakup, like that was my purpose, to completely revolutionize my character. Like I could not bear to look at him in the mirror. I could not fucking stand him. And to this day, it still makes me cringe. Whereas now it's like in the past year, it's been going through like a weird transition in terms of like finding a different purpose. Like, and for me, it's been mastery so far and just becoming the best because it's fun.
I mean, you look at the Chinese, bro, like, they literally pick one thing in their life. They commit to it until they die.
Yeah.
They don't,
Yeah.
they're some of the smartest people on the earth.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's a matter of like trial and error as well, I'd say. and the only way you're going to find out is if you do or don't like something is through trying it, right? You know what I mean? Like you mentioned, you touched on gaming. I know you used to play football as well, but then obviously like just bodybuilding kept calling to you, and I think it's a similar scenario as well. Like the only way you're going to find out if you do or don't like something is through trying. Like Will, my client, he remembered a message I sent to him about like he didn't want to run outside. He just wanted to run on a treadmill indoors. And I messaged him saying, there's only one way to find out. And he was like, fuck, I'm going to go run outside, which was really cool. And it's like, there's so many things to experiment. Like even with losing fat or whatever, like I'd actually really recommend a sport or getting into some sort of community event. Like, because the whole process of just focusing on losing pounds, I'd imagine for the majority of people isn't for them. But with it being a byproduct of something else, it could be. But anyways, going back to the point of like finding that purpose, it's like, what feels like play to you as well sometimes? Like what is genuinely enjoyable in that regards?
You mean outside of it, or do you mean like?
I guess in the pursuit, like for me, MMA is play.
Well, I was just about to say, I think bodybuilding's play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the beautiful thing of it as well. It's just like, you know, I started bodybuilding with a purpose. It wasn't just because I wanted to go to the gym to like keep me out of trouble. I was never a troublesome kid, you know, on the street or whatever. I just did it because it just felt fucking good, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, and I was responsible for it.
Yeah.
So that was the play. I also just wanted to relate with you actually when you spoke about finding that new version of yourself through your breakup and pain. 100% like relate with you. 100% on that. Like yeah. Like similar sort of thing happened around the time of the injury too, and it's mad because I've never actually really spoken about it like that before. But like it's very much yeah. Like a heartbreak happened, and it had a profound impact on me. And I was similar to yourself actually. Hated that person of myself, and like you say, it was very cringeworthy to even, because I blame myself for everything, right? It even got to the point where I deleted my old Instagram page full of all of that content with like 5,500 followers and stuff, and just deleted it. And I created a new page because it was essentially a new version of me. And the content and what I post now and showing the journey of now is essentially 100% a new version, but the goal is still driven by the remnants and the aspects of that pain. It's like, but it's not in fire now, it's in like smoke. You know, it's in the same room as you, but it's not the dominant driving force anymore. You know, yeah. It's like it's like that's clear, but it's still with you. It's a bit misty. You know, it's a part of you, but it's not the driving force no more. Like yeah.
If you focus on it too long or you breathe it up and too much, like give it too much attention, you start choking.
Yeah.
On that then, we had a conversation the other day, you sent me a reel in terms of someone just saying quite silly stuff, like blatant misinformation when it comes to exercise and stuff. And to be honest, mate, there's a bit of stereotype around bodybuilders, as you know. Like, you know what I mean? Like just chicken, rice, broccoli, you know what I mean? All of that stuff.
Yeah.
But like even I had a predisposed thought to that as well. Because of just social media conditioning, but like working with you has changed my life. Like, you know what I mean? It's been flexible. To me, it's an enjoyable approach. So when it comes to navigating social media, not everyone has the same information as us.
It's true.
Like the knowledge and experience. So when it does come to someone like saying, I don't know what the particular video was, but how can they sift through the bullshit and actually go to advice that well-intentioned?
I would say that's incredibly difficult to find because, unfortunately, when you are someone as to who you were describing there, complete fresh beginner, you know, just looking for the right knowledge, so to speak. Like, bro, I remember watching, I don't know if you know, but Mike Chang back in the day.
Oh, mate, he rings a bell. Yeah, I think if I saw a face.
And, bro, like, I looked at his physique. The dude was jacked as fuck. He was doing these, like, wacky home workouts and like, saying that this was the way to get his body. And I just followed it.
Yeah.
I didn't know no better, you know? Like I almost bought his stuff and what have you, and what have you. But anyway, like this is what I'm saying. I think there is a sense of if you I think if you know within yourself like you are serious about whatever it is to either get in shape, get fitter, get stronger, get more athletic, whatever it is, you will eventually go through small amounts of trial and error. Let's say if you don't invest into a coach from the get-go, which non-biased, but I would highly recommend that they do. Yeah, just skip the BS, man. You know, like save yourself time
Pay with
and
money or
and
pay with
money.
time.
Huh?
Yeah. Pay with money or pay with time.
Yeah. And yeah, in terms of like, you know, obviously finding that content on social media and stuff, like again, it is just difficult because even the accounts with shitloads of followers, it does not mean they know what they're talking about. Like, you know, they might have those followers for different reasons. Maybe different types of content that they brought them followers in for, not particularly like the actual information that they're having. I think eventually you will know what person is actually speaking sense and who aren't, based off their social proof with their clients and their athletes potentially, even though I have seen these people that we're talking about get some kind of like respectable result with their clients. However, their methods are insanely questionable. So again, that's still a difficult bridge to cross, knowing if it's the right one. So I would say like maybe shorten your tunnel, so to speak. Like just shorten it a little bit. Bring the content into a bit of a tunnel and just be like, right, okay, I'm gonna follow these 5 people. I'm not gonna follow anyone else. It's the same way as having one question and going to like 20 people, getting 20 different answers. It's not gonna help you, is it? So go to 5 people, and I would honestly just suggest just watching them for like 2-3 months, and then maybe trial and error some of their stuff. If it thinks you're on the right path and you can learn from that and adapt that and search further more what they're saying in their content and it makes more sense and more people are agreeing with that, then yeah, you kind of know you're on the right path. But then also if they're a coach, in the end, maybe just make the investment, because I do think that like having a coach is one of the best things anybody can do. I've had the same coach now for 6 years, you know, best thing I ever did, you know?
I also think with that as well, it's like, how does the content make you feel? So when I was consuming a lot of the similar content, like Complete Freshie, to all of this, like a lot of the content I would consume, it would make me feel all right in the moment and like quite motivated, but there was always a sense of lack, like a sense of I'm not good enough, or a sense of I'm doing something wrong, or there was guilt, there was all of these like conflicting emotions. And like, I think one thing that's really important is fitness and food. It's all meant to fit into your life. You're not meant to shape your life around it. Obviously, depending on your pursuit, of course.
Sure.
But like, that's a key thing. So if the content you are consuming is making you feel like shit, if it is making you compare yourself, if it is extreme, like any extreme views, like and just binary, like this is the way, this is like, you know what I mean, or just anything that just seems blatantly fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some like
this
hanging upside down, mad,
Yeah.
leg raise shit for like to build your quads. I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, like that's definitely an interesting piece. And following on from that, then, a lot of people, including myself, are sometimes scared to take action. Whether it's approaching someone, whether it's stepping into a new gym, or whether it's getting their message out on social media and say combating that misinformation or whatnot, what would you do to help them or help encourage them to get over that initial fear?
I'm smiling because it's very, it's the 2 things I always say, bro. It's the 2 things I always say. I think you low-key know what I'm going to say too, but number 1 is no one cares. And that is a beautiful thing. I mean, you may or may not have seen this before on like social media where they do like memes and pictures of these sort of things, but like you've got, oh no, no one cares. What's the point? Why post? No one cares. Who cares about me posting a can of this frickin', you know, Pepsi Max and being like top tier drink, you know? Who cares, like, if I you know, flex a quad on Instagram and be like, you know, cheeky quad flex. I don't know. I don't know, whatever. But, or you could look at it as like, oh my God, no one cares. That's amazing. I can post anything. And you should be looking at that second option because there are going to be people out there relatable to you who are going to sense a feel and a vibe for who you are, what message you're trying to get out to help people progress and grow in any sense. And it's just about regurgitating different parts of your brain and the aspects of you, getting that out there over time. Because unfortunately, you cannot post 1,000 pieces of content in one day. You can, but I don't think it'll be a good move, right? But like, you know, it's the same way as like coaching my athletes. It's like, I wish I could just plug a fucking USB into like Jaden's head right now and just click like dispose. You know what I mean? And then like, you've got everything I know.
Ask you a question. When was the last time you was embarrassed? Like really embarrassed?
Can't remember.
When was the last time you thought you fucked up?
Genuinely?
Yeah, like you made a mistake, or like, you know, you experienced a lot of anxiety. For me, classic example was I was so embarrassed when I asked a coffee barista for a 10% discount, and I got told to fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, like with her smile, like, and she was like, so yeah. Doesn't have to be anything big or small. It can be whatever.
No, I know. I'm just like, it would be a long time ago if I'm being honest, mate. Like maybe years and years ago. Genuinely, just because.
Can you name one?
It could be like, yeah, maybe small things then. Like sometimes when you get like, maybe having a conversation, often I find this is more with loved ones. Like, because with loved ones, it's so easy to be vulnerable around them, at least I find. And sometimes you can have like a certain conversation, it goes back and forth like a tennis court, and eventually like, you know, you smack the net, and then, you know, it's like round over, and you're just like, damn, I shouldn't have said that thing that I said. But mate, how I hack those and handle those situations now is just like, if I generally feel it's on my conscious mind and I'm like, this is, you know, like this, the conversation's been and done, it's been a few hours, things have calmed down, heated, it's probably not a big deal, especially if you know who you're talking to and who you said it to. But if you know that would have triggered them, or maybe or made them feel uncomfortable, but maybe they didn't show at the time, mate, I just always just send them a message or just give them a call, you know, or just like, or something, to just be like, look, whether this matters or not, I just want to let you know that I've thought about this, and that, you know, I just want to let you know, sorry if I said something a bit off, like, you know, yeah.
Next question. When was the last time you thought of that particular moment?
Probably about a year and a half ago. 2 years ago.
And
So-
just now.
So not, oh yeah.
So going back to your point of like, no one cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with the passage of time, everything sort of seems to heal. Like pain does diminish over time.
Yeah.
You know, like when it comes to, like for me, fuck me, I used to, oh my God, the amount of embarrassment I used to get from posting videos. So embarrassed, like just because it's like new, it's awkward when I put my face cam, like, but it's just with the passage of time, no one cares. Like it's the mad thing is, you know that CEO got caught out in Coldplay?
Yeah.
When was the last time you thought of that? That was massive.
Yeah.
Massive. That took over the internet.
I actually enjoyed seeing those memes. Not even, this is the thing, when people were making memes about something that I found more relatable and enjoyable, that I gave a fuck about, like Lord of the Rings. I remember it was like, I can't remember what it was, but it was about Lord of the Rings anyway, and I was just like, yeah, that's sick. But it was funny because we know where the initial concept comes from, but I don't care about the initial concept. It was just more what was more relatable and funny to me. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's my point. Like it's in the moment you will fucking like catastrophize, and then give it a week, like
yeah,
say embarrassment or shame or anxiety, but then within a few weeks suddenly you completely forget about that moment.
oh yeah,
You know, like whether it's like the classic one when you tripped up in front of someone, it's like, oh, and you make that awkward look, like And he's like, oh fuck, that was awkward.
Do you know what's funny? Yeah, like even to this day, I still try and like I'm like, oh, just try and walk it off, sort of thing, and like, and just like, or like just carry on the limp for 5 minutes, like it was normal. But like,
got a broken leg.
Yeah, but like honestly, mate, like nowadays, I'll be real. Like if it happens, and it happens fucking all the time as well, I'm just like, yeah, I tripped.
Yeah.
Like fucking pavement.
Own it,
up.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, own it.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, but just own it. Own your shit. It's life's so much more peaceful when you do, man. Like,
yeah.
Like you don't have to hide anymore. It's like just. Yeah. I'm just telling myself that, but yeah.
Nice. It's interesting.
The second thing was we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And I know obviously like you're heavy on that. You've got it literally tattooed on you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good thing I got it in Latin. Everyone will just look at me like, remember, you must die. And they're like, oh my God, having a crisis right now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, but no, carry on with that.
No, yeah, like you're all gonna die. It's very fine lined and close to that. No one cares, because it's like no one cares. Great, go do the thing. Go do the thing. Live your life. It's one thing I keep saying is like it's your movie, and that's the one thing I try and keep telling myself over the last couple of years is that this is my movie, and like I said, still stepping back into the personal pursuit of something to display in bodybuilding eventually, like that. I still want to do that, but it means more to me now than it did before in a different way. So the movie has developed itself further there for myself to look back on when I'm fucking old, wrinkly, and I can no longer be.
That's what Alex Hormozi says, isn't it? Like, the problem with the Rocky cutscene is that it lasts 20 seconds in the movie, but it takes 5 years in person.
Yeah.
And on the topic of death, like, because this is something that it's a bit taboo, right? Like, talking about death. It's not the most pleasant topic
No, you're
originally
right,
to speak about, like, because I used to be in that crowd of thinking.
Yeah.
But if anything, like, just meditating on it a little bit more has actually made me very appreciative of life and these moments.
100%.
Like this moment right now, there is an invisible sound timer on that camera, or just floating above our head, like, because this moment's going to end.
Yes.
Whether I like it or not, I cannot do anything about this. This moment's going to end. This Sunday's going to come to an end. My dog, unfortunately, one day is going to pass away. But every single time, I just reference myself to that future place of like, fuck, I'm in this exact same situation. The choice to be with this individual or this time, this moment has been taken away.
Absolutely.
Let me appreciate what I have now.
That mate, I've got chills. That just went down my shins and in my arms. No cap. Like that was because I resonate with that 1,000%. And like, I lost 2 of my best friends this year. Pause. Fuck you, man. I lost 2 of my best friends this year. One passed away due to mental health reasons. It wasn't suicide either. And like I said, if it wasn't for that man, I wouldn't be here today, because he's the reason I lifted a weight in the first place. Like, he is the very fucking reason I'm probably sat with you right here, right now. I am so indebted and so grateful for him, you would not believe, and yeah, my other is my 4-pawed little man Neo, my cat, and yes, I am a cat person. I do love dogs too, by the way. I'm not going to do this cats versus dogs thing, but like, he was my best mate. I loved him. He was the most lovable, cutest dude, going. And, we had a sick little relationship. As weird as that may sound, but we did. And it was so fucking cool, bro. Like, and watching him pass. Pardon?
It's not weird.
And, just being present and watching him pass in front of me in my eyes and just seeing the light leave his eyes. Like, in that moment, like, again, another part of wiring in myself obviously changed from there, like, instantly. Going back to your point of like, it brought me all the way into the present of why now matters so much. So yeah.
grief's an interesting thing. I'm yet to experience it. What has it taught you this year?
It's definitely taught me that like grief comes in different ways. It's not something that you just see, you know, someone being upset and having crying a few times and you know, for a couple of days, couple of weeks, and then suddenly like you're all okay, and it's like, oh, that person stopped grieving now. It's like, nah. Like, if this had a profound impact on you because of years of history and connection, emotional attachment, vice versa, then I've found that it comes in waves, man. Literally comes in waves. Like, you know, it's been several months now and like it comes in waves. But the grief is also, it's weird, it comes in positive waves too. You can suddenly remind yourself of like, by the way, pardon me if that picked up on the mic. But it comes in positive waves too, where like you could be upset about something completely irrelevant, right? And the grief of the passing puts things into a perspective where you're like, right, it gives you like a click of, let's do this, remembering your whys, and you know, and you go back to the enjoyment of doing what you're doing, and again being grateful, you know, blah 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 blah. So yeah, grief it comes in waves in terms of, oh my God, I miss this person, or I miss this animal, or whatever. You know, I do have moments of that all the time, you know. I mean, I even moved a picture of him from the funeral. I put it in my kitchen next to my bodybuilding trophy, next to a card I got from one of my athletes, which was incredibly moving, the words in there, to me as a coach. And it's just a reminder of like elements there, you know. So yeah.
I like the reminder. A lot of the things, like, it's what we commonly say to each other. It's like, sometimes you need a reminder not to be taught.
Yeah.
Like, once you've got a lot of foundational knowledge within, I'm just going to use fat loss as an example.
Yeah, of course.
Like, sometimes it's just reminding yourself to like just enjoy the process, or like bringing yourself back to ground zero and navigating that. Like, reminding yourself, like, right, say if you're starting to fall into old eating habits, snacking too much, late night munchies, like fucking ordering takeaways and stuff. Sometimes you just need to be reminded, like, look where this will end up. Like, what the question I love this is, like, what is your future going to look like if you do not get a handle on this right now? And it causes you to fucking, like, because people operate differently in terms of what gets them moving or what shifts their perspective, but sometimes it's just about reminding yourselves of the things you do learn. Like, you don't need to always add more knowledge, or maybe it's not always the new podcast or the new Instagram reel giving you more info, and sometimes it's just reminding to keep it fucking simple. Like, the one thing that you've taught me with my own training and my progress and strength, like, I've been able to hold up a good fight against like some 35, 40-year-old males that have got like proper more experience than me, and it's just like because my intensity within the gym is so high, and sometimes it's just being reminded to do that. I'm like, I've asked you questions like, what about this exercise, what about this set, and it's just like, just reminder of like what we're doing here. And yeah, like even just little post-it notes or reminders on your phone or anything, just anything that you want to hold, like anything that's precious to you, especially in a world that is so stimulating. Like, you know, everything's so accessible, and you scroll, you're entertained, like it's hard to remember things. So yeah, like I have my level 4 transformational coaching qualification in my corner of my desk to remind me I've done the work, and I will continue to do the work to be a better coach.
It's the second part you say there, bro, which is what I love most. It's like when you say, and I will continue to do the work. You know, master must always remain a student. Like, no matter how good, no matter how many accolades you have, like there is always someone and something you can learn from. I think as soon as you stop that, you're trapped. And it's and going back to what you said about like having something physical, like you say, like post-it notes or something like that. Like you need something physical. Like you cannot just keep it in, like have the chat or whatever, or with yourself or whatever, or like what we did. you need something physical there, which you can see daily, like constantly, all the time, to remind you. You need something physical. It cannot be just remembering a conversation, because that will fade and that will change, and there will be only remnants of sentences which you will remember. You will not remember the whole conversation, but you will remember the whole conversation if you have something physical.
To add to that as well, pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Like, you could walk into that kitchen of yours every day, look at it and just skim past.
Yeah.
But taking a minute to pause, like pause, go back in time to that moment of like what it meant to you, the experiences that got you there. Like, one thing that helps some people stop snacking, as an example, this is just a tangent I heard on a call a while ago, is just having a photo of their family in their pocket to constantly remind them to lead by example.
Sure.
And I just thought that was quite fascinating. But yeah, anything that's particularly important to you, keep it close. Pay attention to it. That's the only way. Like, there is no change without self-awareness. There is none.
Fully agree.
It's the first step, and even that's a win. Even if you're not that finished product yet, and you never will be. But hey, it's not a bad goal to chase.
Right. Literally.
And yeah, man, like, another thing as well, I think that me and you are both coming to, like, realizations wise, having fucking fun. Like, oh my goodness, like, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. And
Should we go back to when we first met and how our mindsets were? Because, like, just quickly, but like, bro, we were so similar, even in the sense of back then. A little bit lost, but a little bit found at the same time. Very glued in on work and a vision with it, and I think that's one of the main reasons why you and I connected. Actually, it was more because of that. Because you didn't join my team until like 6 months later, and I think, yeah, man, like, just zooming out a little bit, just go fucking third person. I think we just clicked, didn't we? And we were just like, whoa, wait a minute, everything is so bloody serious.
yeah, like literally everything, like food, work, everything. It's like when you just take a step back and just breathe. Like, but the one thing I think so important is just remind yourself, like, you have a choice. This is a little bit random, but like, sometimes you feel like you lose control, or you force yourself to do work, you force yourself to stick to a particular calorie target because it will get you results, but like, sometimes it feels like it's been placed on you.
Yeah.
It's a fucking choice. Remind yourself of that. It's a choice.
Yeah.
If you want, be my guest. I say it to my clients all the time. Go have a fucking Mackey's or Five Guys, this and this. Like, there's advantages and disadvantages to both. Like, at the end, I don't care what you do, granted that you feel 100% in your decision, or like 51% in your decision. But yeah, I just remember the one time before I left for Rome, like, I was just standing in the corridor because I was trying to think of like content ideas for like 2.5 hours, and I was just like, nothing was working. But like, it's just, someone else would perhaps be in a similar situation listening to this, like thinking, like, just staring at the fucking fridge for like an hour, like, what do I eat? Oh shit. Just like, don't overcomplicate it, keep it simple, and just like, just try your best to enjoy it. How can I make this fun? How can I make this enjoyable? If there were no, like, in a different universe, or like taking yourself out of it and looking at completely objectively, like, how could I make this more fun? Yeah, I think
perspective is everything, man. Like,
But,
and it is that. It's a simple reframing of perspective, even in small moments. People think that perspective, I find, they think it's a big thing. And it's like, perspective is just a word. Like, it's the meaning the word holds, and you can put it into as small or as bigger deals as you like. But, if you're really struggling with some of the small things, like you said, like literally about like staring at a fridge and not knowing what to bloody eat, but you want to do it in accordance to your goal and this and that, like, just look at your perspective. Remember your whys. Like, remember this, remember that. Like, remember that it's not worth stressing out. Remember that, everything is temporary, and that you should be enjoying the choice that you've made, and and just whatever little comments, whatever little things that you need to think of to sort of like bring it back in and just be like, right, okay, cool. Now you're going to open that fucking fridge and you're going to look in there, and because you've thought about these things prior to opening the frickin' door, guess what? You're probably going to make the coolest thing ever, and it's going to be in accordance to your goals. You're going to enjoy the shit out of it, and you're going to be like, right, box tick, what's next? You know?
Awareness of them thoughts.
Yeah.
Literally, like, what's circulating at this time. Yeah. There's a classic, like, saying about rose-tinted glasses or something.
Oh, you mentioned this yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start wearing orange ones. You know what I mean? Like get out of the environment, change.
Yeah.
Listen, like, if you want a new perspective to emerge, like, I love either having conversations, listening to something as if you're a part of that conversation. So like a podcast, a book, like you're kind of like peeping in a way.
Yeah.
Or just space. But yeah, man, I'm gonna start wrapping this up now.
Sure.
But
mate, we could talk for ages otherwise.
Yeah. Mate, it's mega, but like that's flown by. That we've already done like an hour, I think.
Nah, that's beautiful. Bro, thank you for having me on.
No worries, man.
I got so pumped when you asked.
Like I said, like I have the most utmost respect for you, who you've become, seeing you grow, taking action, sticking to your words, helping me get through some like really difficult times, especially in the beginning of the year, man. Like fucking hell. A non-judgmental coach, like someone who's always in my corner, supporting me, adapting to what I need, what needs to change, also holding that standard when it's needed. Just being a fucking good human. Yeah, man. And that's why I'm like proud to call you my best mate. So yeah, bro.
Likewise, brother.
Appreciate it, man. You smashed it. Oh my lord. Right, see you later, guys. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Nice. Tap one of the buttons.